But all he is.
All right, so Les Snead was on with Rich Eisen. And they're talking about what they're talking about. And the topic of Aaron Donald came up and whether or not he might be coming back. Aaron Donald, of course, retired month or so ago-ish, 2 months ago.
2 months, yeah.
Yeah, something like
and
that.
Out of the blue, out of the blue to us. Clearly, the Rams had some heads up that this was coming because they said, yeah, he tipped us off at the end of the season. We wanted to give him a little time, et cetera, et cetera. He retired. He made it clear that I believe the phrase he used was his cup was full, and that he didn't want to do this anymore. Okay, cool. Here's what Les Snead said to Rich Eisen. I did mention to Aaron that going back to our Super Bowl run, there was a player by the name of Eric Weddle who kind of jumped into the playoffs and we signed him to the practice squad. And we elevated him for 4 straight to a Super Bowl championship. So I did mention if we happen to get to the playoffs again, maybe we'll circle back and see if the cup's not quite filled. But that's just rumor. I doubt Aaron's going to do that. He went on to say, Aaron's one of those guys where he's so principled, he might feel uncomfortable that, you know what, I didn't go through those other 18 weeks with the guys. I'm not sure I can go through the playoffs with them. Not sure. We might tempt him. No breaking news here. Okay. Maybe he's just wishful thinking, speculating. As a Rams fan, I really want Aaron Donald to change his mind and come back and play. I don't think he did that for no reason.
Yeah.
I don't think Aaron Donald's coming back, but I asked DeMarco, and he's like, no chance. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Aaron Donald's a football player. Aaron Donald's competitive. Aaron Donald stays in great shape. You're telling me there's no chance? I've always thought in the back of my mind there's this little crack in the door, and that little crack in the door just got a little wider because I don't think Les Snead just throws that out there for absolutely no reason.
If there's a window, it had to be this year.
Yeah, I agree with that.
If he gets even further removed, if there's a chance that he even gives it some thought, they got to be good, got to be competitive. They have to be. He's got to think, hey, if I'm on that team, I can actually not just make a difference, but the squad is playing good even without me.
I could be the difference between us being good or Super Bowl good.
Exactly, 100%. I could be the difference. But I kind of go back to this, and I find it a little odd. I got to be honest that, especially that's a lot of information there from Les Snead. If it was nothing, guys, listen. If there's something, maybe he would have to tell us. I mean, obviously we're going to listen if he comes tell us, but I really don't think it's going to happen. It's a lot of information. Now let me throw in a player that came in.
Yeah, we've done it before.
And this could be him just indirectly sending a message to Aaron Donald of, I'm going to put this out there. Maybe it does something. Maybe it doesn't. But the part of no breaking news here, I'm like, no, it is kind of some news. You know, that if you say this about Aaron Donald, one of the greatest defensive players to ever play the game, that did help your squad win a Super Bowl in recent history, and you start giving some examples here and all that. Like, I'm with you. I don't think so, but I'm not zero. That didn't make me think less.
No. Look, let's go back. Eric Weddle was an important part of the Rams winning the Super Bowl that year. They added him to the roster super late. He hadn't played in a long time, but he ended up not only playing, but playing a lot and playing really well, and he got a Super Bowl ring out of the whole thing. So good for – and I don't say this to disrespect Eric Weddle at all. Eric Weddle's not Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald is still – one of the best NFL football players walking this earth. Sure. And Aaron Donald doesn't get out of shape. Aaron Donald, it's not dissimilar to, remember when after they won the Super Bowl and there was rumors that Sean McVay may leave to go do TV?
Yeah.
And those rumors were well-founded, right? They were reported and everything else. I kept landing in the same spot. I'm sure it was tempting. I'm sure he considered it. I'm sure he looked at the money and thought, okay, at the end of the day,
there's no action in that.
Sean McVay's a football coach.
Sure.
Sean McVay loves the juice of coaching a football team. He loves the grind. Yeah. He loves the idea of, how am I going to beat Kyle Shanahan? How am I going to figure? And he's a young guy, and yeah, I can make a lot of money, but that's always going to be there. Sean McVay already makes a lot of money. It's going to be there in 20 years. I'm not going to cover the Raiders and the Broncos on Monday Night Football. Okay, fine. I don't get any juice out of that. It's just a job at that point. Aaron Donald's kind of the same, no? He's a football player. I'm sure Aaron Donald has varied interests. I'm sure there's a lot of things that he would like to accomplish in his life.
Nothing that he can't accomplish later, if that's what you're saying.
He's still a young guy.
Sure. He's
still an incredible player. And in his DNA, he's a football player. And he can still play football. And when you see guys going, and if the Rams are good, and it's like, hey, that defense is pretty good, but with me, man, we could get over the top. And I don't know if he waits till week 18 to come back. What if it's halfway through the season? It's like, man, I'm ready to go. My body's refreshed. My mind's refreshed. My spirit's refreshed. Let's go.
I respect.
Is he allowed to do that?
I think he is. Yeah, he can.
He's under contract to the Rams.
I respect if he's done, and he just knows he's done. I respect it. Right?
Sure.
If that's what he decided, I could have said the same thing. We'll just throw one name in there as an example. Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
Right. Andrew Luck. Which, to be honest with you, I don't even know what he's done after his football career. Maybe you do. I'm not sure what it is.
And I don't mean this like in disrespect. Not much. Like
okay.
he first of all, he's almost completely off the grid.
Yep.
You never see or hear from him.
There are certain players where maybe, hypothetically, I know I'm done. Whatever it is. You could be at the top of your game. It doesn't matter what you are in your career. It's like, nah, I did that. I'm good. There's other things I have interest in. Maybe that's just Aaron Donald.
Could be.
Maybe nothing triggers him. Maybe him saying to himself, I got to go take this amount of hits and that and my health and all stuff. Maybe that's what ultimately, when the dust settles.
Yeah.
But I don't think the Les Snead quotes make me think, oh, well, he's definitely not coming back. It actually kind of throws out additional ideas of how he can come back.
I'm looking over your shoulder, and there's a cardboard cut. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it, of Aaron Donald and LeBron James right next to each other. They're literally the two cardboard cutouts are together. If LeBron James, fast forward, and I don't think this is going to happen, fast forward a month from now, he's like, guys, I've been thinking, I'm done. I would believe him.
Sure.
He's played 20-plus years. There's nothing left to give. I've done everything there is, and I'm good. I can go into the second act of my life and go do whatever's coming up. Aaron Donald is about 10 years or so younger than LeBron James.
Sure.
He's still one of the very best. The retirement was early, not late. Like when you've gone past the point of LeBron, retirement's always in the mix. And if you're like, yeah, okay, I think he's probably gone. I don't know what it is. And then you throw this quote on top of it. It's like, okay, leave that porch light on because somebody might be coming home.
Fast forward. Let's go to we're 12 weeks into the season.
Yeah.
There's some rumbling out there that he might want to come back. Surprise or no?
Pleasantly surprised. No way. He's not going to do it. Be like, all right, let's go.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
But and again, what he ends up doing. But I would not be surprised.
If you said to me,
he left at the top of his game.
Does he play next year or not? I think my answer is no, he doesn't play. If you said you want to bet a lot of money that he doesn't play, absolutely not. I don't. No. I'll bet.
Always comes back to betting a lot of money.
Well, yeah, it's one of the that I'm not sure. Like, do I bet $100? Yeah, okay, fine. You want to bet your car? Hell no.
No.
It's not one of those things, and not when Les Snead says what he said. Hot and cold coming up next. Aldi, Trader Joe's, who owns who? I don't know. That's next. Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.